Airbnb, the popular peer-to-peer housing facilitator, recently apologized for some of their controversial billboard ads that they posted in San Francisco. So let me give you some examples. Here's one related to education. It says, "Dear Board of Education, please use some of the $12 million in hotel taxes to keep art in schools. Love, Airbnb." Now, and then a library, there's another one that was directed at a library. Check this one out. It also says, "Dear Public Library System, we hope that you use some of the $12 million in hotel taxes to keep the library open later. Love, Airbnb," again. Now, here's something interesting. The library responded by saying, "Out of your $12 million hotel tax, only 1.4% goes to the SF public libraries. Divided by the 868 library staff, we have 193 per person. This is 78 cents per employee per day. I doubt that your hotel tax can keep the libraries open more than a minute or two later." This is Martha Kenny. She works at the library, represents it.
Yeah.
She's
one of the evil ones.
Yeah. So some of you might say, okay, so what? They're just telling, San Francisco how to use the money that they're collecting from this organization, right? Or I should say company. But check out this other billboard. This one's a bit passive aggressive, a little snarky. It reads, "Dear SF tax collector, you know the $12 million in hotel taxes? Don't spend it all in one place."
I don't have any beef with any of these ads.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
None.
Okay.
It's their company. They're getting their name out there. I mean, they've now panicked and withdrawn the ads. And
It's fair.
I mean, because there's an argument that they're trying to be snarky, like, hey, look, we paid, we're contributing, and we're just having a little fun with it. Again, a unique way to get our name out there. I don't think it was really seen as taking a hit at the library or taking a hit at the city of San Francisco or the schools.
I'd have to disagree with you. If you look at the context, there's been a huge controversy in San Francisco because of the housing crisis, and more recently, the San Francisco occupancy tax of 14% on rentals went into effect, and people are, saying that this is necessary because Airbnb is actually taking away housing that could be used by more permanent residents. They're making a business for tourists and turning residency into tourism, which is driving up prices and pricing people out of the city. So it's very controversial. San Francisco simply decided to add a tax, and this is the way that Airbnb is responding to that tax.
Yeah,
I got it. So, but I mean, they're paying the tax. That context doesn't change my opinion at all. It's an ad. It's not. Their job is something else. First of all, they're literally entrepreneuring, if I may make up a word. And if the result of that is that it creates a housing crunch, which I don't believe, since San Francisco it's been really people have been priced out of San Francisco since for a long time. People are getting priced out of San Francisco. So I don't know. I don't like this is a company, and then now this is a whole other fight here that the city wants to limit a number of days per year that you can Airbnb a house, I think, to 75, which would obviously, I imagine, would cause some of those people to change their minds about how they want to
stop doing it.
Stop doing it and start renting the house out permanently. And I guess the city gets to do that too. I mean, that kills the business in the city, but if they're comfortable doing that, then so be it.
My problem with this is less that I think it's offensive in some respect to the libraries, which I love libraries and I want them to have more money. I think it's unwise. I agree with you. They should be able to do whatever they want. But if I was a member of the board or a shareholder, I would say, what the hell are you wasting your money for? When apparently you're so broke that you need to complain about every tax that's applied to you. And they've already, in lobbying, spent almost as much as that $12 million in taxes.
But not to beat back that tax. They spent $8 million in taxes to beat back the 75-day restriction. That's what they're fighting.
Okay, that's totally fair. The reason that I think this is a stupid set of ads is, for most people, this is San Francisco. It's a big city full of rich people. Not entirely, but a good number of them.
The city that rocks, the city that never stops.
It never stops whatsoever. And then they see an ad that says $12 million in hotel taxes. I would look at that and say, Airbnb is a massive corporation. $12 million? What the fuck do I care about your $12 million? This is San Francisco. This is big money in every way. You're complaining about $12 million? And then, if it did affect me that it's $12 million, I would see the school library, or I would see the library thing, and then I would see the other thing that it's going to be spent on, and then the other thing, I would think, oh yeah, government is good. Thankfully, they're going to take this money and they're going to do good stuff with it.
But
it would directly convince me that thank God this tax exists. Maybe we should raise it a little bit.
But your presumption is that the ads were because they're complaining about the taxes. I don't read it as complaining about the taxes. I read it because I don't think that's what ads are supposed to do. The ads are supposed to tell you about Airbnb.
But then why did they back off? Why didn't they say, no, this is us willing
Because
to,
this
we're
is
saying
what happens
we
when you
give
get
so much.
criticized.
This is how
because
awesome we are.
Look, I don't give a crap about Airbnb, but because
used it
people
once. It's a
complain and
delightful
people were
service.
hurt, and oh, you're attacking the schools and the libraries and the kids, and to me they're like,
What about the children?
Jesus, enough, fine, we'll run different ads.
Okay.
If
To
you-
me, it seemed petty.
Yeah, Airbnb said it was the wrong tone, and we apologize to anyone who was offended.
offended by an ad about a
I'm not
renting
offended.
your-
I think it was unwise.
Then you
No feeling.
then
I have
that
no
would have
feeling.
been
I'm not offended.
then
It
that
was
would have
stupid.
been the decision that Airbnb made, and you would have been. I might have agreed. You probably could have convinced me. Like run
Okay.
something else. Like we're
Doesn't
talking
feel
about
like
this
I'm
one.
convincing
Come
you.
up with something else. But I mean, who can possibly get offended by that? What offense is taken? Jesus, life must be miserable for whoever is offended by that
Yeah.
because you got to get offended 3,000 times an hour.
Well, look, I generally agree with you about offense in general. I don't think
well, I
most
think
things
that's
should
my-
offend people that do. This would certainly be very low